What's up, guys? This is Dax McClellan with the Ask Dax Show, where you send in the questions and I answer them. Okay? By the way, if you have a question, make sure you check out my email below and send me a brief description, maybe 4-sentence paragraph. Make sure it's specific. And if I like it, I'll send you the answer on a YouTube video, all right? So let's get into the question for this week. It's a great question. We got it from one of our viewers and a tattoo artist. He said, Dax, I want to open a shop. What's the most common problem you run into opening your own shop? Is it possible to avoid? What should be your highest priority in opening your own studio? Okay, so you want to know how to open a studio. Okay, there's a lot to it. So first off, you got to ask yourself why you want to open a studio, because it's not easy. It's not. And if you want a simple life, a simple tattoo artist life, just stick to working for somebody else. That's the best thing. When you open a shop, you got bigger problems. You got bigger things. You got more work. You got more jobs than just being a tattoo artist. You got to deal with the marketing, the managing, the growth of the company, plus tattooing. You got to even find a way to hire people and manage them and market. I mean, you got to do so much stuff. So now you're not just a tattoo artist. And that's something to keep in mind. So ask yourself why you want to. And if you don't want to, if you really don't want to, don't do it. If you do want to grow, you have to be willing to encourage problems and want to deal with problems, because why would you want to get away with a problem? If you run from your problems, you won't grow in life in any situation. You run from styles of tattoos that you haven't done yet, you'll never grow. You want problems, because if you get problems and you face them and you find the solutions, that's growth. And that's something that if you want to open a shop, you have to be willing to understand and willing to just dive in and find the solution to is your problems, because you're going to have a ton of them. But if we're going to talk about specifics with my shop, you said, is it possible to avoid? Yeah, when you find the solution. But you won't know the solution most of the time until you face the problem. Don't fear your problems. Problems aren't, I don't even look at them as problems. I just look at them as challenges. And I enjoy challenges. Matter of fact, I look for more ways to challenge myself in my tattooing, in my business, in life, with relationships, like challenge yourself. It creates progress. And when you have progress, you get happy. If you've ever not been happy, you've been stuck in a rut, it's probably because you're not making progress. Think about that. With myself, one of the most common problems with mine was, number one, finding good artists and getting more business, getting clients and leading the artists the right way. Okay, leading the artists and managing, you need to learn leadership skills. You need to pick up books, educate yourself, or find somebody that is a real leader. Because just because you can tattoo doesn't mean you can lead artists. It's a whole nother skill. And I recommend mastering that, because if you want great art, you're going to lose tons of great people, break relationships if you're not a great leader and you don't know how to speak with people, communicate with people, and inspire them because they look up to their leader. You shouldn't be a boss. You shouldn't tell people what to do because they need to do it. You should inspire them and make them want to do it. So leadership skills, marketing skills, branding skills, salesmanship skills, that's some of the biggest things. And creating systems. Hire people to do the work that you don't want to do. Don't struggle just frustrating yourself to do it. Find a pro, But be willing to do that work if somebody isn't. Because you got to lead by example. So with artists, if you want them to do something, you better be willing to do it yourself. That's what's going to inspire them to do it, because they want to be like the guy they work for. So those are a couple things that I do. But yeah, with what should be the highest priority in opening your own studio, I would say getting artists and getting clients. Those two together make the business run. Not only that, but you got to create all the mechanics of it, create the systems, that make doing that easier. And not only that, but you got to focus on running the business while looking at the future and growing the business. And you got to take yourself out of the business to grow the business. For example, I'm here in Miami at my recording studio, growing this business, growing my YouTube channel, my training courses, stuff like that. Not tattooing. My shop is in Utah. So I had to take myself out of my business to grow things. You know, now I'm growing the marketing. I'm running my marketing, managing a team of marketers, a team of social media managers, managing my employees. We're still doing Skype meetings every week. I'm managing and growing my business, but I had to take myself out of my business because I couldn't dedicate enough time while tattooing clients every day, all day. There just wasn't enough time in the day. So you got to hire people out, and you got to step out of the business to grow the business. But you also got to grow. You got to run the business in the present, and all that stuff needs to be taken into consideration if you want to open a shop. So I hope I just blew your mind. I hope I didn't discourage you, but you are going to have to trust me. Out of the 3 years that I've grown, and by the way, I had the best tattoo shop in Utah, the highest rated one, fastest growing that Utah's ever seen, and I'm just getting started. If you want a great business, you gotta like problems, aka challenges. You gotta like to be challenged. That's the first thing. You are gonna have to have the skills, but you are gonna have to have the mindset too, and the mindset it's something you work on every day. Even me, I can still work on my mindset. I still constantly do. And that's what I encourage you to do if you want to open a shop. So one last thing is customer service, you know. The tattoo situation doesn't just end right after the customer gets out of the seat. Learn to deal with customer service and bring more value to your clients, following up with them, bringing them back in, everything like that, you know. I actually got a book that's called From Average to Savage coming out that has a lot to do with this stuff. So keep in touch. Stay tuned for that book. It's in the editing process right now, so I can't say exactly when it's coming out, but Savage Way's out. Great book if you're into black and gray realism. I think you'll get some value out of it. And if you don't do portraits, check out my course, the Realistic Portrait Training course. We enroll every once in a while. It might be a good fit for it. Check it out if you want to do portraits. Other than that, subscribe to my YouTube channel, share this video with somebody who it might help. Also Facebook, Instagram, Facebook groups, stuff like that. And stay tuned for next week for the next Ask Dax episode. That was a lot. Anyway, we got some questions for next week I think you're going to enjoy. So stay tuned. Send me your questions to the email below. Check out the links, our free content as well. And we'll see you next week. Peace.